welcome back to my podcast. I think this is the 12th episode or the 13th, I'm not sure. But today I'm doing Clueless, the 1995 film. Obviously a classic film, everybody knows it. So, yeah, let's just see how it goes. And, yeah, well, I love this film. I just have to say straight up, it's a very classic film. It's iconic. I loved everything about it. I think it was an amazing film. Well, obviously, I think you knew that already, considering my taste in films. But no, I loved it. I think it was quite an interesting take on, girls of Beverly Hills, They did a very fantastic job mocking those type of people, portraying those type of personalities. So they did a really great job on that. Although I did notice, some key differences between, your regular, popular, rich, mean girl and Cher, because even though she was supposed to be all of that, I don't think that she was that mean, There were definitely some instances where I felt like she wasn't as selfish, which is, I'm just gonna go through these guiding questions really quick and finish this up. So anyway, let's get to the plot. So the plot, this is about a girl named Cher. And sorry, I had to pause it there, but anyway, this film is about Cher, and she is a very rich, very shallow, a very interesting persona, because she's at the top of the scale. She's at the top of her school, which is Beverly Hills High School. And, well, her intentions were first to get good grades, so she tries to coax these two teachers into dating each other. And because of that, she decides to give this new student, Ty, a makeover. And, she also tries to set up Ty with another guy. But I think that this all kind of went the opposite, the complete opposite way that Cher thought it was going to go, as she finds out that Ty becomes more popular than her. And through all of this, she does have an ex-stepbrother, so not even a brother, not even, a real stepbrother at that, because they didn't even spend that much time being actual stepbrothers. And she realizes that her ex-stepbrother, which is the beloved Paul Rudd, he's an amazing actor, I love him, that he was right about how naive she is, or how misguided she was. And she does end up falling for him. I don't even want to hear all the, incest, because, no, this is not incest. They weren't even real brothers, and they didn't even spend that much time, even being stepbrothers, because I bet you his mom probably, he said that his mom is married a lot, so I'm certain that he has a lot of step-siblings. But anyway, that's what the plot was about. I loved it. I think it was believable. It was definitely believable. I mean, they did an amazing job. And Clueless is so iconic. Those outfits, people still dress up like her to this day. A lot of the phrases that she says, they use it in TikTok sounds and stuff. So you can definitely say that movie had a very nice impact on society now. And I think it's just had a really nice impact on everything, on cinema, because quite honestly, a lot of the Beverly Hills persona character types that we see could have been influenced by this film. I've watched the show 90210, and that's that's Beverly Hills for sure. So, I've seen a lot of films like that. I've watched TV shows that are like that, so I kind of already, I'm familiar with the kind of character. I could definitely see that they could have pulled inspiration by this, which I love. And yeah, about the setting. So about the setting, obviously she lives in a lavish mansion, and her father is, I believe, a corporate lawyer. So he does make a lot of moolah. But yeah, she definitely grew up very bratty. I mean, she even has a whole car. I think she doesn't even have a permit, if that's correct. Yeah, she has a whole car. She doesn't even drive. And she has all these designer items and stuff. So I think that was a very interesting, those are just factors that had to be part of the film to make it look believable and, interesting. So I like that a lot. I like that they included the storyline with Josh, because I think that's what makes the whole film what it is. I think they didn't have to make this movie about falling in love. I think that they could have went another route with this, but I like that they chose to go with the romance kind of thing, the romance kind of theme, because as I'm trying to say, I don't think that this film was only about being like a mean girl and stuff. I think that it was just her being clueless. She realizes that she's not as not okay, I don't want to say smart, because I'm not talking about like academics, I'm talking like in life. I guess she realized that she was more naive than she thought she was, like that she's literally clueless. She doesn't have an idea what she's doing in her life. And she's never even been in love before, she's never done any of that stuff. So that's kind of why people say that she's clueless, because she's trying to be a matchmaker and do all this stuff, but she's never even experienced that for herself. So she's being kind of naive here. And I think that falling in love with Josh definitely helped her mature. Maybe she won't be so clueless after falling in love with him, but that's what I liked about the film, that they chose to make her be like this bratty, snobby, rich girl, who like all she cares about is being her social status and such. But I don't think that she was so selfish the whole time. I think maybe once she realized like how Ty became more popular than her, she definitely stopped being so selfish. She started caring about other people, which I like that they went that way, because it obviously ties in with the whole theme that, hello, she's in love with her ex-stepbrother. But I hope you get what I'm trying to say. But yeah. And then for the themes and tone, I think the main, you see, why obviously this was entertainment, but I like that this movie was definitely very feminine, like very feminine. They brought in a lot of feminist attributes and such. I liked how they chose to bring up such a woman empowerment type of film. I know people, I guess you wouldn't really see it like that at first glance, but it really is a woman empowerment kind of film, because we're going through the point of view of Cher. We're going through her life, and it's a very interesting character at that to choose, because why choose the rich, snobby girl that, like, people wouldn't think of that as interesting, but it is interesting, because we're seeing her life, we're seeing her journey, and as she finds love, she's realizing like, oh my god, like, I don't know anything about falling in love, which I love that whole theme. I liked how it was such an empowering film. We see her, she takes, what's it called? Oh yeah, she's like, even in 1995, she was definitely having that whole girl power type of stuff, She tries to help other girls. Sometimes she tries to help other girls. She cares about how she dresses, and that doesn't mean anything, because, like, she doesn't care. She's confident in that, and she's confident in what she believes in, and she fights for what she believes in. Like, she's very confident, even when she was given the speech on the Haitians, which, I mean, girl, I had no idea what she was talking about, because that was a very interesting speech. But even when she was given that speech, she was very confident. Like, she just executes this attitude that gives off confidence. It gives off, like, yeah, I'm a rich, snobby girl, but you know what? I don't care. Like, it's not, like, the type of confidence that'll scare you away. It's, like, the type of confidence that's, like, yeah, she's a woman. What are you going to do about it? And I like that when, I think his name was Elton, when he tried to, like, assault her, she was like, no. She fights for herself. She's definitely those type of girls that she fights for herself. And even when, like, Josh would sneak up on her, like, not sneak up on her, but, like, when he would sometimes see her helping Ty, you could see that, like, obviously she cares. If she didn't care so much, even if it was, like, for her and not for Ty, she still cared, because she actually still ended up helping Ty. I mean, unlike other mean girls, there's always a catch, but with Cher, there wasn't really much of a catch, except for the fact that she didn't care about you, she cared about herself. But I hope you see what I'm trying to think of here. And for symbolism, for symbolism, I was going to talk about her clothes, but I don't know if that would be symbolism exactly, so I'm going to tie that into acting and characters, about Cher's character. I think I've already spoken on Cher's character a lot, so I was just going to say that Cher's clothes, to me, I was thinking about how that could kind of be symbolism. While it's not like an object, it's just the clothes that she wears every day. I kind of liked how she dresses, obviously very Beverly Hills. I mean, like, everything. She dressed Beverly Hills before even celebrities now dress like it. Like, she was an icon, okay? in that film, her fashion was unmatched. Okay, nobody can beat her outfits. So I liked that a lot. I like that she dressed with complete confidence. You know, she even had a whole, like, I think clothes matcher or something, which is interesting. It's very interesting. But I just noticed that whenever she would go out and, like, whenever, not even only when she would go out, like, you can see the difference from when she was seeing Christian and when she was with Josh. Obviously, she's going to feel more comfortable with Josh. She's known him before, yes, but that could also do with the fact that she was falling in love with Josh. With Christian, and like whenever other people would go to her house, she was just very, like, confident. She was dressed with, like, a skirt, you know, some high heels, whatever, a nice dress. Like, with Christian, she wore a very provocative outfit. But with Josh, they could be doing, like, anything, and she wouldn't even care how she dressed. She would probably even have, like, some sort of pimple patch on her face or whatever, like some sort of face mask on or something. She could be wearing sweatpants and she wouldn't even care. I know that there was one scene where they were watching a movie together. I wouldn't say that she was wearing, like, a nice outfit, but that's the whole point, because the way that she dresses nice is, like, the way that she dresses every day is, like, people's outfit for going out, you know? But the fact that she didn't do that with Josh was actually really cute. I thought that was a nice detail. I mean, yes, I don't care if someone tells me, like, oh, but she was at home. Yeah, but it's more than that, because if she was at home with someone else, she would have cared what she was wearing, you know? She would have cared if Christian was going or if her father's workers were going, you know? She probably wouldn't even have been downstairs, probably, but if she was with Josh, she knew that she was comfortable enough to dress how she wanted to, you know? She didn't even care, and I like that a lot. I think that kind of symbolized just how, like, such a difference in her personality with him, how she's maturing with him, how she doesn't care about that type of stuff with him, and I love that so much. And I loved how the characters were portrayed, and obviously the actors were amazing. I know that Alicia Silverstone, the woman who played Cher, I haven't really seen her in any other films since Clueless. I think I, like, read an article on it. She said that she was kind of, like, done with acting. Not sure if that's true though. But of course, the lovely Paul Rudd, he played the stepbrother Josh, well, the ex-stepbrother Josh. I'm pretty sure this is when he made his acting debut. I love Paul Rudd. He's awesome. He's great. Very, very nice man. But yeah, he's a great actor. I loved his character. I'm not gonna lie, I loved his character. I love that we got to see that contrast between him and Cher, and, like, how, you know, I've already talked about how Cher dresses and stuff with him, and how she dresses on the regular. But it's funny because he dresses just like his character. He dresses so nerdy in the film, and not even necessarily nerdy. It's just that he doesn't dress like her. Like, he doesn't dress like those preppy guys that you see. He dresses like what would you say, like a skater guy or something like that. Like, he dresses kind of like a rebel almost. Like, he doesn't dress accordingly to how they dress in Beverly Hills. He doesn't really dress that preppy. If anything, he could just wear jeans and a sweatshirt and it would be fine for him. You know, very different from Christian's character. I liked Christian's character a lot. I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of predicted when he went over to the house and she was, like, throwing hints at him and he wasn't getting it. I was like, oh no, I'm starting to think he plays for the other team, because, you know, I just felt like it was funny how he was like, when he kind of realized, he was like, oh, never mind. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I think that he's not into you. He's not into your gender, but that's cool. I also liked that even when she found out he was gay, that she still hung out with him, because that's another thing I liked about her personality. I know that she's selfish. I know all that stuff, but it's how she grew up. I cannot even blame the girl, because that is just how she grew up. And she was blessed. She grew up in a very fortunate family and such. So she can be selfish. I mean, as long as it doesn't hurt other people, but I don't see her, like, intentionally hurt other people, if you know what I mean. But I know she's selfish. I'm not going to defend that. But I liked how even when she realized that he was gay, she didn't even care. She was just like, okay, great, another shopping buddy, you know? She was very understanding of that type of stuff. And even when Ty yelled at her and told her off, like, she was very understanding about that, which is something I would say you don't really see in a lot of other mean, like, rich girl stories. So I like that a lot, actually. And she wasn't so dictatory. I mean, I guess, yeah, she did want to be at the top of the social class and such. But I don't think that, like, I think that when she really realized what made her friends happy and stuff, she actually started to care more about what her friends wanted, not what she wanted for them, but what her friends wanted. And I liked how we see that even through Travis and Ty's relationship. I love their relationships. I think that their personalities definitely matched. I mean, from the moment they saw each other, Ty and Travis, I liked how their chemistry was seen and shown. And yeah, I really liked that. I like the dad also, which I'm gonna just go into cinematography now, just to get this over with. But the shots, I like the shots. I don't think that there were that many, like, I know, like, in Jurassic Park, we got to see a lot of different angles. I mean, wow, cinematography was amazing in Jurassic Park, but I don't think this film was, I don't know, I didn't really see that many. I can't really compare Jurassic Park to Clueless, but the shots were really nice here. They did a lot of zoom-ins when they really wanted the audience to focus on something. Like, I liked how the Cher's dad, how he was portrayed in this film. As I was saying, I liked how Cher's dad was portrayed in this film. I liked how the actor really got in. I'm assuming the actor must have really gotten in that, in that element. He had to pretend that he was a grumpy lawyer every day. But I liked how her dad, I liked the way that her dad was portrayed in contrast to herself, because she's like such a whiny person and she has this powerful father, It just goes along with the story. And I liked a scene that I really liked for the cinematography was, I liked how when Josh was helping Cher's father and she went out with Christian, and Josh, we zoom in on Josh and we're like, okay, yeah, he likes her, I like that a lot. And then when she leaves and all that stuff, Josh is like, we're kind of mainly the camera's mainly focused on Josh and Cher's father, and Josh is like, oh, should I go? And then the father is like, yeah, just go. What I liked about this scene the most, the reason why I like this scene so much is because that's kind of when we got to confirm, oh my God, he feels the same way for her too. Or he feels something for her. That's what I mean. And I like that they made the father actually seem nice. I mean, the father's I think he's actually a really good father. I think he does his best for his daughter. So I like the father. And I liked how in this scene, he wasn't even so grumpy. He wasn't even yelling. He was like, no, just go. And Josh is like, yeah, I'll go take care of her. And when he leaves, I love when they zoom in on the father and he's just smiling. I love that so much. I think they made his character look so good there. They portrayed his character so well in that scene. They made it seem like he knew what was right for his daughter. He knew that they were going to end up together. I love that scene so much. And even at the party when Josh was dancing with Ty and he's kind of watching Cher and Christian, I liked that a lot because you see, since we're seeing so many people, it's we're kind of seeing it from the actor's point of view, from the character's point of view, because there were a lot of people at the party, so obviously there must have been a lot of people in between. It would have been kind of just weird if they decided to have everybody not go in between them. I liked how, what I'm trying to say is I liked how they showed sometimes the point of view of the characters. We could sometimes see Cher's point of view and sometimes see Josh's point of view. I liked that. I liked how they did that. And I liked the directions. Let's talk about direction now. I liked how the director chose to tell the story. I liked everything about this film. Honestly, everything here, I liked everything. I don't think the pacing was too fast. If anything, I think it went perfectly. I think everything was timed really great, actually. The fact that she started doing this matchmaker thing with her teacher is basically right when Josh came back into town. So it all kind of played out very well, because if he hadn't come back into town while she was mentoring Ty and stuff, then I don't think the story would have went the same route. So I just think it was all timed very well. And the storytelling was pretty straightforward. I don't even know why people would find this complex. There wasn't really that much. I can't really speak for others though, so. But for me personally, I didn't really see anything complex about this film. It's a pretty straightforward film. And yeah, I don't really know. Because this wasn't a suspenseful film. It wasn't really that suspenseful. As for the score, the music was good. What I liked was the scene that Cher and Christian were in the bed. And you see, another thing I liked about this movie is that they didn't have to, like, at some points, they didn't even have to incorporate the music, because the whole thing is that we're following this bratty girl from Beverly Hills. So you didn't even need the music sometimes, because it's quite funny, because she kind of, like, just her dialogue was perfect. But the music wasn't great for the mood. But yeah, like I was saying about Cher and Christian, when she tried to put on, I think that she did try to put on music in that scene. I don't remember. I know she offered him wine. And I'm pretty sure, like, she was, like, bored with the film and stuff. I think that she tried to put on, like, some sort of sexy music. I forgot. But I liked how she did that, because, like, that just goes to show, like, what she was trying to do there. She was trying to set the mood, you know? And, yeah, I didn't really recall that much music in this film. But even when I did, like, at the party and all that stuff, it was all very realistic. It all went with the flow. Like, I felt like I was watching real life events. It was all realistic. That's for sure. And the sets and the filming locations were so believable. I'm talking, like, literally, they did an amazing job with this. That's another cinematographic feature that I would talk about, is the camera angle when Cher's, like, basically showing Ty all the clicks. I love that so much. Even from looking at it at a distance, not only are we walking with her, basically, we're walking with her, but in the background, they made it so that the camera could show all the clicks in the background. So every click, they all have their own outfits. They all wear what is good for them. They all look different. I know that it's a basic thing that we see in every film, but I like the way that they personally portrayed it in this film, because we're walking with her and we can still see all the groups in the back, and the way that they, like, kept that contrast with, for example, the skaters. They all wear baggy clothes, their beanies, okay, and then we have all, like, the popular people with Elton and such. They kind of wear different outfits, you know? And we have Christian, who, I don't even know what clique he would be in, but he definitely dresses very well. So that's kind of what I want to bring. Like, I like that scene. I like that shot, because we literally got to see, like, all these different groups, and it was so believable. It was so realistic. They literally all dressed so stereotypical, which I know is a bad thing. I know stereotypes, like, aren't necessarily a good thing, but it's just, in this film, it was kind of necessary. It's the whole point. You kind of have to have, the whole film is stereotypical, which is, of course, how it should be, in this film at least, to go along with the plot. And they didn't really have any special effects here. If they did, though, I didn't notice. The editing was very clean. That's another cinematography shot, whatever I liked, was when, I think it's, like, my favorite scene, honestly, when Cher was, like, when she failed her driver's test, and she was just bummed out after, like, going to the house and being told off by Ty and stuff. She was just so bummed out about it all that she started walking. She went shopping, and she was just thinking in her head the whole time, like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why is this about Josh? Blah, blah, blah. I love that a lot, because we were walking with her, and it wasn't only that. I felt like I could literally read her thoughts, because I liked how we were walking with her. We're feeling her anxiety. And when she even stops to see the mannequin, like, the camera moves with her hand. Like, the camera was literally moving with her, which I loved, because it's just a basic trick. I felt like I was reading her thoughts. I felt like I was her. I literally felt the character's anxiety from the screen. I love that scene so much because of how they filmed it. And even when, like, and it's such a realistic thing too, that she obviously isn't going to walk around fake shopping without actually buying something. Come on, she has to buy something. Obviously, the girl was not going to leave without buying something. But I like the editing in that, because I know that must have been a lot of editing, and they had a very consistent flow with that. The transitions were awesome. Even when she got back to the house, it was amazing. I loved it all. When she's, like, stopping, and she's like, oh my god, I'm in love with Josh. But like I said, I literally felt, I honestly I thought I was hallucinating. I thought I was reading her thoughts on the screen. Not that I remember, I don't think that they actually put, not the subtitles, I don't think they actually know. They didn't write her thoughts out loud, but that's what I literally felt in that scene, that I was reading her thoughts. I felt like I could hear perfectly well what she was saying. But yeah, and along with that, the pace was amazing. It wasn't too fast. It definitely wasn't too slow. But I think I talked about that already. And the dialogue was amazing. I'm sorry. The dialogue in this film was immaculate. Like, nothing could beat the dialogue in this film. It was so clever. It was so beautifully used that it's so iconic that so many people use a lot of the commonly used phrases that she says in this film. It's so iconic. Everybody uses it. It's so well known. Like, the dialogue is crazy, and I know that a lot of people have used that to their advantage, in cinema and such. But yeah, don't even get me started on the dialogue because I will talk for hours. But it was so beautiful in here. And, like, I love the phrases that she uses, as if, ew, daddy, that type of stuff. I love that because she's really playing a rich Beverly Hills girl. And those are a lot of the common phrases that they use. So I love that. I love the dialogue. It was amazing. And even the Haitians pronunciations when she said Haitians or something. It's funny because I was reading an article on it, and apparently the actress, that was actually the actress. It wasn't on purpose. Like, the actress literally, that's how she pronounced it. And I found that quite funny. I found that quite funny, honestly, because I love that, actually. So, yeah. I thought that was a really funny touch, and I think I read that the director, when that happened, the director was just like, oh, okay, just let her be, let the girl. She was very confident, too, during that scene, so I can't imagine her surprise when she found out that that's not how you actually pronounce the word. But I loved that scene. I loved the whole film. I can't even choose a favorite scene. Well, I don't know. I think my favorite scene, one of them, is definitely when she finds out she's in love with Josh. Just the cinematography in that scene was amazing, and the editing, it was so consistent, and it was so realistic. Like, of course, she, of all people, when she's down, she would go walking around, like, Rodeo Drive or something, and go buy something. It was so realistic to the plot. It was true, and the fact that she, like, realized it for herself, that's what I love even more about her personality. Like, she really owned up to it. She was like, oh my god, I'm in love with Josh. Like, instead of denying it, like a lot of other girls would have probably, she was just like, okay, well, she accepted it, which I liked. So I love this whole film. I thought it was a very nice film. I'm glad I got to watch it because, as I told you, I've been wanting to watch it with my cousin for, like, a couple weeks now. And we finally did, which is great. Well, I did. I don't know about her. But, yeah, it was a great film, and thank you for listening.